What's up, all you confiscations? And welcome back to PPBE? I was about to say PPBO. Welcome back to PPBE Week 7. Week 7, everybody. That's what I'm talking about. Week 7. Week 7, let's go. Week 7. Also, holy crud, we won a game. We won a game, everybody. That's what I'm talking about. We're not in the doghouse this week. We won a game. But you know who also won some games? Joe won some games. Joe is swiftly approaching being the overlord of 5Ds. I mean, just crown him now. Joseph Rothschild, overlord of 5Ds. This man has never won this many games of Yu-Gi-Oh! In his life. You know who else won some games this week? Leah. But not enough, which means we're playing Leah again next week. How does this always happen to us? We're always in the doghouse, and then we win, but not enough, and then we gotta play Leah. And then we're back in the doghouse again. We can beat Leah. Yeah, we can beat Leah. That's not... No problem. No issue. That's not... Don't worry about that. That's the good news for this week. Bad news. It looks like we're never getting Hidden Arsenal. I know that we all tried very hard to make this happen. Shout out to everyone who liked that tweet, shared that tweet, hashtag Hidden Arscrack, give us Hidden Arsenal. Let me just pull that up right here. Hashtag give us Hidden Arsenal. Yup, that happened exactly. Oh my god, so close. So close. I think I said I wanted 10 likes and 3 retweets. We only got 9 likes and 2 retweets. We were so close. It was so close to blowing up. But, I mean, my heart goes out to all of you. I couldn't do this without you. We almost got Hidden Arsenal. Overlord Joe, too strong. With that, here are the polls. Alright, here we go, everyone. I'm late. They're trying to play right now, and I was on vacation, and I haven't opened. Alright, we want to play Needlebug Psychics. All we're looking for is the panda. We're playing it no matter whether we play the open the panda or not. Alright, here we go. Oh, Gravekeepers, bring back Spy. Give us Spy. MBT, give us Spy. Hashtag give us Spy. That's the new thing. We're not getting Hidden Arsenal. Sorry, everyone. Joe, he's not giving us Hidden Arsenal, but that's the new thing. Hashtag give us Spy because Descendant's useless. Counter those black wings. No panda. Gravekeeper still. Hashtag give us Spy. Nope. Still no panda. Meteor Flare. Burn wind condition, kind of. Show me the panda. Show me the panda. No, what? These cards are common. Alright, pack 8, panda. No, wait, pack 7. Alright, that's 1 panda. Nope. Another another useless Gravekeeper's Descendant. Oh, that's pandas 2 and 3. Alright, cool. We got them all. Didn't think it was going to be that hard, and it wasn't. I have no idea what else we're looking for in this set. There's an ogre thing that I opened. When they have 2 monsters on their 4th panda. It is like when the opponent has 2 monsters, you can normal summon it. There's really nothing else that I'm looking for. Defense Forever. I guess I'll mention that when we talk about important cards that we won't be playing because space is going to be tight. I can really just rush through this. This will be a very brief segment. The sad Gravekeeper support. Oh my god. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it later. But you know what I've noticed? I have not opened a single token, and that deserves a shout out to an individual on Twitter who saw me complain about this and then sent a message to YGO Pro Deck, and then they fixed it. Like I said, before I get started with talking about the pools, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the hero, the MVP of opening packs this week. That's Amoritine Quarantine on one of the retweet threads that MBT shared. Amoritine Quarantine heard the calls of our whining and reached out to YGO Pro Deck to see what was up with us opening tokens and got the problem resolved. And thanks to Amoritine Quarantine, we did not open a single token in the last pack opening of Absolute Power Force. So, Amoritine Quarantine, you the best. Okie dokie, let's talk about the pool. Cards that I thought were relevant in this set. Power Invader, maybe, probably not. Pandaborg. In the event that someone pulled enough X-Sabers, certainly Amherst Blade, though this is a secret. Oilman. Consecrated Light, maybe for all those Black Wings. We knew that Alien Brain was a nuts card, but we didn't know if reptiles were going to be playable. Changing Destinies was relevant in testing. Would have been a nice burn spell if we had 3, but we have 1. Inverse Universe. Psycurse. Here's everything that was relevant in actuality. Reptilian Vasky? This card is almost Lava Golem with upside. I didn't read this card until yesterday, and it... Stun deck to get beat by Book of Eclipse? Reptilian Naga. Widespread dud. Holy gwa! So, here is the deck. Psychic Turbo, Master Gig Turbo, Psychic Dredge, whatever you want to call it. I really, really liked our deck this week. First, I'll give you a rundown of the card by card. Armored Axon Kicker. This card has insane amounts of synergy with Level Eater. Debris Dragon for the Mind Protector into Black Rose. Destructotron to clear their back row. Dr. Cranium, Krebens, Master Gig, the Turbo Man himself. Pandaborg, we've got our Psychic Recruiter, baby. Our Creature Swapper, our Beater, our Get our Cranium Level Eater, our Get all of our little dudes after we have played the game or they have been milled by Needlebug Nest, our Counter Trap, our Value Generator, Psychic Curse, which is telepathic power just again, which this solves the problem of us not having pulled that many copies of telekinetic power. And then Psychic Tuning as our big Call of the Haunted for everything in our deck. We saw about 15% of the cool stuff during the episode that we wanted to put on display, so I contest that my deck was very cool and could have done better if I saw my cool stuff. Now, we don't need to look at a ton of game footage. We certainly don't need to look at that Joe game. I just get slapped. And we nearly get slapped in this game against Danny. I come out strong. Danny looks like at this point of the game, he's about to swing the game back. He had just taken a Nagad Pandaborg with his Viper, and then synchro summons Iron Chain Dragon with Pandaborg and Viper. That's bigger than what I have presenting on board, and I have no access to anything that could challenge that Iron Chain yet, but we are looking at this replay because while I never resolved a Needlebug Nest, Danny resolves a few effects of Iron Chain Dragon, which, to my great thanks, do their best Needlebug Nest impression. Let's roll the footage. They summon Iron Chain, beat up my Psychic. Man, I start milling cards. I pay for a bunch with Krebens. I let that happen, it goes to 0. I throw some dudes in defense. We get popped. Danny's really, really hammering me, just absolutely going in with synchros and totally wiping my board. But then the Iron Chain effect procs, and I go, Armored Axon Kicker, 1 for 1, Master Gig, and I just praise our Psychic Overlords because I have a Psychic Tuning set and I have a Debris Dragon in hand, and I know, gosh darn it, that I am going to be able to make 2 Psychics to pop the board with Master Gig and then go into Black Rose. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. The deck was meant to mill. You want to mill so that you throw that Master Gig in the graveyard so you can cheat it back out with that Psychic Tuning and just completely take over the game before your opponent has an opportunity to respond. Here we are, back with the deck. Moving forward, if I were to play this deck again, we know that Black Rose Dragon just got banned, and we don't have any other way to effectively use Debris Dragon, and so we would cut Debris Dragon, cut Mind Protector, because we're definitely not playing Mind Protector if we're not playing Debris Dragon. He has one job. And then probably do something like this. Third level leader. We could also go like that, like that. I don't know, any combination of those makes me happy. I want to be playing more monsters. Typically, if you're playing a big mill deck, unless you're playing spells and trap cards that have graveyard effects, which at this point in the game's life, they really don't, you want to be monster heavy. That is more likely it, barring that there's not other cool psychic stuff or graveyard cheaty things that we can slap in here. I heard other people actually played cool decks this week. Let's see what they played. We'll start with Leah's deck. We had a feeling that people were going to be on the sort of half in Blackwings, half out. Blackwings don't really exist as their own centralized strategy anymore now that Kalut and Blizzard are gone. So we assumed that everyone who wasn't us would be trying to find the Blackwings X strategy. And for Leah, that was Blackwings Psychics. A Crusader of Indominion, Leah loves her random... Yeah, she doesn't even have Arcanite Magician. Though I do see that she is a Drill Warrior. We'll come back to that later. Leah loves her 1900 beaters. Dark Resonator, firm believer in Battle Tune to this woman. Fortune Lady Wind pops a spell or trap card when she's summoned. With Fairy Wind in the format, I don't think you need to be on this. 3 Gemini, is there... Oh, Explosive Magician maybe she's playing all these spellcasters for? I guess? Taking a look at her extra deck, this bastard woman has Drill Warrior. Don't tell her. Don't tell her. No one tell her what this card does with Quick Draw. Just please, just don't. Nothing super new here. Everyone loves to put cards in their extra deck that they can't summon. I refuse. I just refuse. Danny is the only other respectable individual besides myself in deck building this week. Playing a pure strategy. Let's go. I played pure Psychics. He played pure Reptilian. Heck, all these other in-between individuals with their black wings. Snowman, Tricky. Yeah, Danny, you can cut the Tricky. If you're going to play the Tricky, just play Sirocco. 3 Changing Destiny. Defense. Danny, cut Defense Draw. 2 Fairy Wind. This man pulled Fiendish Chain. Oh my god, that's nuts. 1 Selection and 2 Widespread Dud. We were the big dud of this week, not seeing this card. This card is nuts. Actually, when I said that I should be thinking about other cards to play, maybe I should stop playing Mind Over Matter and get on Widespread Dud. This card is really, really good. I don't see any Danny rocking the full extra deck here. Not for long. Here's Brent's list, and immediately my eye is drawn to that 3 Level Eater, but Brent opting to do it a little bit differently. Nothing in the main deck besides Sirocco and the Tricky to help continue to get your Level Eaters out, but unlike us, Brent has a very deep pool of synchros to go into. That being said, he's not playing the Needlebug Nest or the 1-for-1s to help get it out. Maybe he doesn't have the pool for the graveyard strategy like we were going for, but I still absolutely love the Level Eaters. Oh, although now that I'm thinking about it in here, how do you get it out of your hand? You have to Tricky it or summon it. And having to summon Level Eater does not feel good whatsoever. Wow, Brent pulled 2 Forbidden Chalice. That's really good too. What the heck? Me, Leah, Brent, we all missed Widespread Dud. The week that Joe and Danny test the most, am I right? Crazy. And here we are, last but certainly not least, the overlord of 5Ds himself. Here's Joe's deck, and I'm already seeing things that make me mad. Overall impression, okay, it's not the pure Reptilians, it's Reptilian Blackwing. Maybe playing the half and half was better, because I would say you're playing the best cards in both pools, but this dude is still on Minstrel the Shield, like, Why? I get it. I know you want to get value out of the Black Whirlwind, but mention the shield. The reason we are crowning Joseph the King of 5Ds is because he is intelligent enough to look at Widespread Dud and say, get in my deck. Joe also pulled a Drill Warrior. I wanted this card so bad. We didn't get it. I'm gonna cry. Well done, Joe. Built a good deck. This is the end of an era. We have bid Black Rose and Black Whirlwind goodbye. Goodbye, Debris Dragon plays Black Whirlwind, Black Wings, goodbye. Leah said she might try to work Black Wings without the Black Whirlwind. I hope you do, Leah. Please do that. I'm begging you. Before we wrap up this episode today, there's one more card that I wanted to talk about that we haven't gotten the opportunity to talk about yet. So we just opened 2 new Gravekeepers in Absolute Power Force. Gravekeepers Priestess and Gravekeepers Descendant. Now, you may recognize Descendant as a cornerstone of the meta from Plant Synchro format, a place we may be rapidly approaching soon. But Gravekeepers Descendant has a problem barring them from unlocking their potential in this series. But before I go into that with you, I want to touch upon a little bit of history first. Okay, let's just turn our attention to this diagram that I've prepared. So you see, we have 2 opposing Gravekeeper houses at this point in the game. We have the House of Sentry and the House of Assailant. Now, these 2 houses are sworn enemies and have divided the Gravekeepers for as long as recorded history. Gravekeepers' Stele is where they record that history, and for the most part, they share the Stele to make sure nothing bad happens to it. It's also where they refer to their ancient prophecy. The prophecy says that there must always be Gravekeepers, else the zombies get loose from their tombs and bring ruin to Battle City. And so how do they make sure that there must always be Gravekeepers? Well, they gotta beget more Gravekeepers. So the 2 houses of Gravekeepers get to begettin'. Assailant and Cannoneer beget Commandant. Sentry and Chieftain beget Vassal. Commandant and Curse beget Priestess. Now, Gravekeeper's Sentry is Gravekeeper's Commandant's dog. This is very important. Now, I'm going to pause here before we let the begetting go any further. We know that Gravekeeper's Descendant is descended from a long line of Gravekeepers, hence the name Descendant. But we are swiftly running out of Gravekeepers, and we know that these 2 houses hate each other. Which begs the question, how exactly did the Descendant do their descending? I have the answer. Let's back up a little bit. Gravekeeper's Chieftain conveniently knew a part of the prophecy that nobody else did. Don't you love it when prophecies work like that? This part of the prophecy stated that the 2 opposing houses of Gravekeepers were fated to merge and produce, and I quote, a descendant from both houses. So we discover that the name Descendant actually has particular significance because they are not just the descendant of Gravekeepers, but the descendant of all Gravekeepers. Herein lies the problem. As you can see, Commandant and Curse were able to produce offspring to serve as a viable parent for Descendant in the form of Priestess, but the offspring on the House Sentry side is missing. Without a parent offspring from Watcher and Vassal, there's no Gravekeeper to complete the link, leaving the DM to 5Ds, don't worry about skipping GX, prophecy in shambles. Now you, cultured Yu-Gi-Oh viewer, must know exactly where I'm going with this. It's true that the Watcher Vassal offspring is missing, but it's not that they don't exist, it's that they are being kept from us by none other than Joseph, Overlord of 5Ds Rothschild. That's right, the missing link is none other Then Gravekeepers Spy. Gravekeepers Spy, ladies and gentlemen, give us Gravekeepers Spy, you bastard. Set Descendant free. Fulfill the prophecy. Free Spy. GK Spy of D's nuts. Spy of D's nuts, everybody. Hashtag give us Gravekeepers Spy. Hashtag Spy of D's nuts. Thank you. And so I am calling on all of you to do your part once again. Take to the streets. Blow up MBT's chat, give us Gravekeepers Spy. Let Descendant have his time in the sun. Let's get Gravekeepers Descendant meta viable. Give us GK Spy. Boycott MBT. Unsub from MBT until we get Gravekeepers Spy. We couldn't get Hidden Arsenal, but I've got a feeling about it this time. Let's do it, everybody. And then, through the power of Battle Phase, attack my set Spy, Spy effect, summon Spy from deck, End Phase, Draw Phase, Standby, Main, Book of Eclipse, Spy's face down, Spy effect, Descendant, Spy effect, summon the other Descendant from deck, Descendant effect, pop your cards. Descendant effect, pop your cards. Descendant effect, pop your cards. What? I've got all these Gravekeepers in my graveyard. Gravekeepers style. Add these back to hand. What are you saying? I haven't even normal summoned yet? Gravekeepers Descendant. Second battle phase. Third main phase. Effective Descendant. Pop your last card. We can achieve the next bad end. Good night, everybody.